Day in my life, I do a lot of things. It's pretty much a full day. So I get up early, I go and do my workout. Every day I attempt to do a 5-kilometer walk around my house, simply because I think it's my greatest coping mechanism, so then it prepares me for the day. I come back, I do a little bit of stretching, yoga, I cook, get my kids ready, and then they're off to school, and then I'm out of the house by 9 o'clock. After which I come to work, I just work all the way. Lunchtime, I catch up with my friends, I talk to them, or I check with my staff how they're doing and what are they up to. And sometimes we have a lot of lunch meetings as well. And then it pulls over until 6:30 in the evening, and then I call it a day. Then I catch up with my friends, or I go back home and I just chill out for a bit, read something. I have it in my schedule, I must read something. This was the year I said that I must finish at least like 15 books this year. So I've finished at about 8 books right now. So I'm trying as much to do that. And then I try to sleep by 10 o'clock. I always sleep at 11. So that's what I do in a day. Okay, so it was an accident. I never grew up telling someone like my biggest ambition in the world is to go and, be a charity and NGO worker. Although now, come think of it, I think it's really cool, because what I do is that I'm changing the world, I'm changing people's lives. But it all started off with me having to work in MAA, and prior to this I was in oil and gas, I was in an insurance company, and then I ended up in MAA. And Budimas was a part of the Malewa Group's CSR project. So from time to time we were called to help out. So I was the point person to actually work on their collaterals, their advertising, to let people know more about Budimas so that we can raise more funds. So that was how I started working in Budimas. And after which I joined them full time, and from a staff member of 2, we built it up to like about 35. And then we also were fortunate enough to be able to build this home in Senawang. So this was all throughout the 10 years that I've been here. So we've done so much. We've developed 3 big programs, and we've reached out to more than 20,000 children every year. So that's how I ended up in Budimas. So we have 3 main programs. One is the home program, and one is the feeding the food program, and one is the education program. So the home program is very simple and straightforward. The aim is to provide children a shelter, a proper home to live in. So in Malaysia, we have approximately a few hundred charity homes actually, but the ones registered under Kebajikan is very, very few. So what we do is that we support them financially. We let them run their homes, we run an audit with them, and we also tell them how they should use their homes, or how they can save on their resources so that they can operate longer. So that's what we do with the home programs. We don't own these homes, we just finance them. So with the feeding program, it all started off in Klang. So we ended up in this place in school in Klang, which was so run down, and we got a few kids came up to us and started talking to us. It was just me and another colleague back then. So then I realized they spoke so well, and then I actually asked them this. I said, "How old are you? Because you're speaking really well." They were actually 12 years old, but their body size was not more than a 7-year-old. They were really, really small. So technically they were like full-blown malnourished. They were really small in size, so they just didn't eat that much, and that's how. And then we realized around that community, that area, there were so many of them who were really, really, really small size. So in fact, I have a photo which I took of a baby which was not more than big as my hands. That was how bad it was. So we took that photo and then we presented it to the board. I think we really have a problem here, and I think we should really make a difference, because even parents who are not eating properly, mothers, ladies who are not eating properly, would get pregnant and produce really, really small malnourished babies. And that cycle was just repeating generation after generation. So then we said, okay, so let's start where we can, because I can't fix the problem since the beginning, right? So let's do our bit over here, and that's how the feeding program started. It started off with only 20 children, it went to 200, 2,000, today we have 6,000 children under the program. One of the other things we wanted to focus on a lot was the education, where we found a group of Orang Asli children just stuck in their kampung, refusing to come out. to the city, to the schools, simply because it was in their norm to just stay at where they're at. So we thought hard about it, and we were trying to figure out how to bring these orang asli children, these forgotten people of Malaysia, out of their kampongs, right? They just didn't want to. So what we did was that we brought these libraries over to them. So we worked with the Jabatan Kemajuan Orang Asli, who gave us a spot and a location in each one of these kampongs, and we built a library for them. So the library serves as a community center. They have classes, we have engineering classes, English classes, all sorts of classes. We even paid a librarian to be there to open the place up every day. It's open 6 days a week. So that sort of like made a lot of difference, because instead of them roaming around, doing drugs, you know, picking up bad habits, they were actually there spending their time. So that's our 3 programs. I feel we faced a lot of challenges, but I feel one of the worst ones that I'm always trying to overcome is the misconception about NGOs. What people don't know, Malaysians were not very educated in the whole NGO scene approximately 5 years ago. So we still had people calling us asking, why are you feeding the children chicken? Why are you serving them Milo? Isn't that expensive? So it took a lot out of us as a team to actually explain to them these are human beings, and Milo is not luxury. It's a need for someone who did not grow up having proper nutrition in life. So, and it's okay for them to eat chicken. So I would often play around with these people and ask them back, why, what do you eat in your house? I felt like we went through a lot to educate people as to what, when we want to do something for these kids, I'm not giving them an Apple iPad, I'm giving them a tablet. Especially during these MCO times when our kids had to learn from home, we ran a donation drive for devices. So I had a lot of our donors who came up and gave their devices over to them. And I say it's okay, they can use it, they need to use it. It has become a necessity, right? But for me to change their mindset, especially the people who have a lot and who donate, who think that we're not, you know, channeling out the money properly, that has been the biggest misconception. That's a big challenge because you have to educate the public. Over the years, I think Malaysians have gotten way much better. They accept the fact now that there is an admin fee, that we need to pay for tuition, we need to pay the school teachers. People are not going to come and do it because I want to do it out of my own free will. It would be proper for me to still pay you a small allowance if you did it. Then you will come every day and teach these children. So I think that was my greatest challenge, working in an NGO. Yeah. Yeah, I feel every time a child makes it, if they make it somewhere or they passed an exam or they just got something like, you know, an award at school or something, I feel like that's the biggest win for us because we don't get like, you know, big perks in lives and even in our job, but every time we have a child come up to us and they are able to speak, they say their name and they're able to say what they want to become and they're able to say what they learned in school and have ambition, to us that's our biggest win. Having said that, some of our kids in the Budimas Orion who we've raised since they are 4 years old have actually entered university and have become like Sukma students and sports, winning in their blessed categories, and I think that's been really exciting for us because I always imagine for children who have very little, we gave them little, we didn't give them so much, you know, and they still made it. So I thought, how else could they, you know, make it out there? So I think that is the biggest thing for us.